Imagine this. You're a successful black woman, a trailblazer in your field. You've worked tirelessly, shattered stereotypes, and earned the kind of success few can dream of. You own a private jet. Yes, your own. But on the day you're set to board, something happens that you never anticipated. You arrive at the airport, excited and glowing with the anticipation of your trip. You're visibly pregnant, carrying not just the weight of a child, but the legacy of breaking barriers. But instead of being treated with respect, you're stopped, questioned, denied. What could possibly justify this treatment? Is it a misunderstanding, a mistake, or something far darker? Stay with us as we uncover every shocking twist in this story of prejudice, power, and perseverance. By the end, you'll question everything you thought you knew about privilege and justice in today's world. If you're ready for a story that will leave you speechless, hit that like button right now. Subscribe, share this video, and tell us what you think in the comments below. Because this story, it's one we all need to hear. Tonight, we bring you a story that is as unsettling as it is eye-opening. A story of resilience in the face of blatant injustice. Picture this. A successful black woman proudly stepping onto the tarmac toward her private jet, the culmination of years of relentless hard work. She's not just anyone. She's a force to be reckoned with, a symbol of breaking barriers in a world that often tries to hold people like her back. But just as she's about to claim what is rightfully hers, she's stopped, blocked from entering her own jet. The reason? Well, that's the question that will leave you stunned. Was it a mistake? Or was there something far more insidious at play? This isn't just her story, it's a reflection of a deeper issue that runs through society, a chilling reminder that success doesn't always shield you from discrimination. What happened to her could happen to anyone, and tonight we're peeling back the layers to reveal every shocking detail. Stay with us as we follow the twists and turns of this true crime story, unraveling the truth behind an incident that will leave you questioning the world we live in. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment. And while you're here, take a second to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to our channel for more untold stories like this one. We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think as this story unfolds. Let's get started. Our story begins with a woman whose life is the embodiment of triumph over adversity. Born into a world where the odds were stacked against her, she refused to be defined by limitations. Through hard work, determination, and unrelenting perseverance, she built an empire, one brick at a time, until she could finally afford the ultimate symbol of success, her own private jet. But this story isn't just about success. It's about what happens when success isn't enough. The day started like any other. She was glowing with excitement as she arrived at the airport, her heart full of anticipation. It wasn't just any trip. This was a celebration of how far she had come, a reward for the endless nights spent working, dreaming, and building. As she stepped out of her car and onto the tarmac, all eyes were on her, not just because she radiated confidence, but because she was visibly pregnant, carrying the future in more ways than one. But what should have been a joyous moment turned into something no one could have predicted. As she approached the jet, a member of the airport staff suddenly stopped her. At first it seemed like a routine check, something trivial. But then came the question, a question that sent a chill down her spine. "Can you prove this is your plane?" Confused, she replied calmly, "It's my jet. My name is on the documents." But her words weren't enough. From that moment on, the situation began to spiral out of control. One by one, barriers were placed in her path. The staff claimed there were verification issues. They wanted her to wait while they sorted it out. Meanwhile, others were allowed to board their planes without so much as a second glance. Her confidence turned to frustration. She explained again and again that she owned the jet, but her explanations seemed to fall on deaf ears. Then came the microaggressions, the subtle digs masked as questions. "Are you sure you're in the right place? Whose jet did you say this was again?" Each word felt like a jab chipping away at her dignity. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get worse, a new voice entered the scene. The airline representative arrived. Instead of resolving the situation, their presence added fuel to the fire. With a polite but condescending tone, they asked for even more proof. A birth certificate? A business license? Documents that no one else was being asked to provide. And then the unthinkable happened. One of the bystanders, someone watching from the sidelines, whispered something under their breath, loud enough for her to hear. It wasn't just a comment, it was an insult. a cruel judgment based on nothing but her appearance. Her stomach turned. She had to make a choice: stay silent and comply, or stand her ground and risk escalating the situation. The tension was palpable as she took a deep breath and did something no one expected. But what she said and did next would change the course of this story entirely. Hang with us, because this is where the story takes a turn you won't believe. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below, because your voice matters in conversations like these. Let's continue. Just when it seemed like there was no resolution in sight, something shocking came to light. Something that reframed the entire ordeal. It started with an offhand comment from one of the staff members. A slip of the tongue, a phrase they thought would go unnoticed. But she caught it, and it left her both angry and determined. They muttered something about suspicious activity and how they had been tipped off about someone who didn't belong. That was the first clip. Determined to get to the bottom of this, she pressed further. As she stood her ground, refusing to be brushed aside, a bystander, a fellow passenger waiting for their flight, stepped forward. This person, initially hesitant, eventually revealed something incredible. They overheard a conversation between two staff members earlier that day. The conversation? It was about her. It turned out the security and airline personnel had been acting on a call, an anonymous report that someone posing as a jet owner might try to board a private plane. The description given? A pregnant black woman. The realization hit her like a tidal wave. Someone had deliberately targeted her, questioning her legitimacy in a space she had every right to be in. But who? And why? Her anger transformed into clarity. She knew what she had to do. Instead of succumbing to the humiliation and walking away, she decided to confront the situation head-on. Calm but firm, she demanded answers and refused to leave until the entire matter was resolved. As the tension mounted, a senior airport official was called in. First, they tried to placate her with apologies, but she wouldn't accept vague excuses. Then came the twist no one expected. With a surge of confidence, she pulled out her phone and began recording. She documented every word, every action. The staff, now aware they were being filmed, started to shift uncomfortably. But she wasn't finished. She called her lawyer on the spot and explained the situation loud enough for everyone to hear. The power dynamics flipped. Word of the incident spread quickly across the airport. Passengers nearby began taking out their phones, filming the scene and sharing it online. Within hours, the video was trending, drawing outrage and support from across the globe. The fallout was swift. The airline and airport released public statements scrambling to explain what had happened. Apologies flooded in, but they couldn't undo the damage. The incident became a lightning rod for conversations about systemic racism, implicit bias, and the daily injustices faced by marginalized communities. But this story doesn't end with her suffering in silence, no. She took it further. She used her platform to amplify the story, ensuring it became a case study for change. And while the public demanded accountability, the anonymous caller was eventually traced back to someone she least expected, a competitor in her field, attempting to sabotage her reputation. What started as a moment of humiliation became a powerful act of defiance, a reminder that even when systems are stacked against you, your voice can change the narrative. Now, as you hear this story, I want to know what you think. What would you have done in her shoes? How would you have handled being treated this way? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Otherwise, let's have some fun with this very short meal. This story isn't just about one woman. It's about a society that still has far to go. Tonight, we've witnessed a pregnant black woman stand up against prejudice in one of its most blatant forms. We've seen her courage, her refusal to back down, and her determination to demand justice. From the subtle microaggressions to the blatant bias, this story reveals an unsettling truth. Discrimination doesn't vanish with success or wealth. It's a battle that so many face every day, often silently. But what makes this story remarkable is how one woman turned humiliation into empowerment and used her voice to inspire change. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. What would you have done in her shoes? Have you ever experienced or witnessed something like this? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're here to listen. If this story moved you, if it made you think, take a moment to like this video. Your support helps us continue to share these untold stories. And don't stop there. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Most importantly, don't miss out on stories that matter. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll never miss an update. We bring you real stories every day, stories that shine a light on injustice and celebrate resilience. Together, we can spark the conversations that lead to change. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.